Hello. How's everybody? Give it a couple minutes. So I just want to apologize though too for changing the time on you guys again. I just been playing with this between, well, I started in the morning and I thought that that was going to be great, but then later on I figured out that the daytime might be better so that more people could join. So I think I finalized on this time frame of sort of the 2:30 to 4:30. It's kind of just before dinner hour for us here, so it might work for everybody. So thank you all for joining. I'm so happy. Today is going to be an announcement for a surprise for you all. And I do want to talk about, well, I mean, everybody's still sort of stuck on the Chris Watts case, but I really would like to not stay there with you guys. I feel like, it's sort of over and he's been sentenced and that's that. So, I just wanted to, get on with other stories, right? Hi, Melanie. Hi, Paisley. Hi, Kim. Hi, Lady D. Ellen, Sharon, Sherry. I don't know if I've missed anybody. Hi, Fermi. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Hi, Donaldo, Donatello. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. Seriously, you guys. It's like my foe. It's like my downside. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Bruce. How's everybody doing? So my channel, what I like to cover is true stories. That's what I do here, right? I share stories that have touched my heart. I share true stories that have really happened. Something somewhere has really happened. Thank you, James. I appreciate the compliment. So, I enjoy spreading those true stories to give you folks sort of a look into another situation, someone else's life. Hi, Tammy. So glad you could make it. Hey, Christine. So definitely what I pride myself on is bringing you guys the truest true stories. It's a true story. It's something that happened, whether that's a crime, a natural disaster, some victims, survivors, and that's what I want to branch into. So I found this, the story that I shared with you guys today, which was the story of Audrey Mabrey, was empowering and enlightening to see so much strength, right? So whilst others might be stuck on the Christopher Watts case, I may do one more video in regards to Nicole Kessinger, the interview process that happened with her, verbal and recorded. Hi, Ray Holt. How are you today? Oh, thank you for the compliment. That's so sweet of you. I definitely appreciate all of your viewing. I appreciate all of your support. I'm trying not to do too much of this because this is how I talk. I just kind of throwing my hands around. But true stories is what I like to bring to you guys. So Audrey Mabrey's story was really, really inspiring to me because so many of us would have gone through something like that and looked at it as, a really down thing that happened. Hi, Terry. I hope everybody enjoys the show. I'm going to get on with it now, though, instead of just saying hi to everybody joining. Hi, Steve. That's it. That's all. We're going to go carry on now. So gestures go with why we enjoy your live chats. That's true. And I do want to state to you guys with the live chats, there isn't really, it's not structured the same way as I do my personal videos for you guys when I'm constructing a story, when I'm telling you a story. I have a breakdown of how I present that to you guys in a sense, and I include my own feelings and thoughts along the way. But the lives, like I've gotten some comments sometimes where someone, I guess, has clicked on and they're trying to respond to something in a live chat, but it's no longer live. And I guess they don't realize that the live chats can only be responded to when you're in there in that moment. So, I don't know if an apology is necessary for something like that, but I I just don't want anybody to feel like they're forgotten, or I'm not talking to them, or I'm not responding to them or something like that. So thank you. Um, so Audrey Mabrey's story is intense. It's sort of a glimmer into, wow, like that really happened to you, and you had that much strength come out of it. That's amazing. So this woman meets a man, and she had already been through an abusive relationship, and just brutal, like, to have to go through that at all, especially at a young age, right? um so she goes through this abusive relationship, you guys, and once that is over with and she gets that out of her life, she courageously decides to go back out there for love again. And like a lot of us will go through a traumatic abusive situation and decide we're not ever going to let that happen again and close off to, the dating world, right? So she courageously decides to go out there and look for love again. And she meets a guy that says he's a police officer and he's a detective. And she trusts that, but she's not sure at first, right? So she calls his work to see if she can actually get a hold of him at the precinct. And sure enough, the guy answers the phone, when she asks for him by name. So she was trusting him now at that point, that she verified one thing on his story, and yes, it's true. Hey Susie, I haven't seen you in forever, girl. Much love to you. Anyhow, so she meets this guy and she doesn't really trust him, and she calls the precinct, finds out that he is a real deal. So she decides to jump on the trust bandwagon and give it all she's got, right? And this was in 2003. By 2009, you guys, like, he had lit her on fire after dousing her with gasoline and smashing her in the head with a hammer 4 times. I mean, absolutely intense. How does somebody like go from being normal to losing their crap that bad that they're gonna, hit somebody in the head with a hammer and then douse them with gasoline and light them on fire? Like, talk about insane. I mean, I don't think I would ever go back out there for love again if that ever happened. And didn't she courageously go and find love a 3rd time? And she's married to a wonderful man who treats her amazing now. But I mean, the intensity of what she went through, and her courage to go out there and not just focus on, that bad thing happened to me and who knows what else out there bad could happen to me. She decides to look it bold on. I specifically asked her, you guys, because I reached out and I spoke with her. I found her story and I decided I would like to ask her if I could share it. So I reached out to her and she was really, really nice about letting me share her story and gave me, a few tips and pointers about the story that happened between her and this guy. And I had asked her, like, was there any signs that he was evil like this or was going to hurt you? Or, did you have any like inclining that this was going to happen? Hi, Annie. How are you, honey? And she said no. Honestly, there was compulsive lying, and that's almost normal these days, for crying out loud. That's so sad to say too. Like, it sucks, right? So, not, he's a compulsive liar, and she's figuring things out along the way. He may have been honest about being in the police force and stuff, but he wasn't really honest about what he did, because he told her he was a homicide investigator, and he wasn't at all. So he was more like a liaison. And I mean, she was there and saw him get his first or like 2nd grade detective badge and stuff like that. So she knew that he was in fact working with them, but he wasn't a homicide detective like he claimed to be. And then there was lies about, where he was going, how late he had to stay out because of his job and what he was doing. And, she really took no need to check on him, because in the beginning of her relationship with him, she trusted that he was going to be honest with her, right? So, let me like pause that there and squeeze in this surprise I have for you guys, because this surprise is amazing. And if you guys like these true stories and these survivor stories, I literally just got permission to share literally almost like an unlimited supply of these stories. So I feel like, this is just the beginning of these amazing sort of encouragement of, no matter what we are going through in life, like if there are people out there going through these traumatic, crazy, intense situations, it doesn't matter what we're going through. We can get through it if they can get through that. And I find that like inspiring in a sense. So I was excited to share this to you guys. And I don't think that I'll ever be able to finish sharing this amount of stories to you guys. So, like I was actually going to work it out and I forgot on a calculator. If anybody wants to calculate this for me, what is 100,000 divided by 365? I'm curious if someone wants to shoot that answer to me. So now that I've given you the surprise, because I didn't want to keep you in suspense too long, I'm going to carry on with this amazing story here. So he's lying to her repeatedly. They had been in a relationship for like 7 years, you guys. Very little arguments. Life was just sort of really normal for them. And thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it. Hi, Samantha. It's good I'm bringing awareness about all the stories. Thank you so much. And Kimberly says, I want so badly to tune in to hear what you're saying and add to the convo, but can't tune in for another 10 minutes. We'll still be here in 10 minutes, girl. She probably can't hear that right now, though. She just said. So, all right. So this guy spends like 7 years with her, sort of repeatedly lying. I think that sort of gives us a glimpse, like, in our own relationships, we may want to just check on our partners periodically if they are being honest to us about where they are and what they're doing, so you can hash that out and maybe not waste more time than need be with somebody if they're being deceitful, not honest. She's a part of a couple of nonprofit organizations right now. So if the answer is 274, that's how many stories I'd have to do a day to cover it in a year. So it's never going to happen. It's probably going to be like 5 years in the making of bringing you guys these stories. So I'm really, really excited to not only meet with some of these people who have been through some of these traumatic things, and to gather some of their strength. I feel like just sitting around and talking to people like this, it enables you to be able to suck up some of that courage and strength and keep going, right? I mean, let's face it, we're all faced with hard times and difficult decisions, and some of us more so and deeper than others, right? So if we can learn from other people, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's really cool. So I'm excited to be able to branch into sharing you survivor stories and all of these, traumatic things that have happened to somebody in order to build us together. Like, I feel like uniting us by communicating all of this, it brings us together on a platform. So I'm excited to be a part of, the Facebook page that Audrey made, and it's called Your Thrive Tribe. So if you're someone who's been through something traumatic in your own life, I have been through traumatic situations in my life, and I'm just honestly honored to be able to be the one to meet and talk with these people to be able to share their stories. I think that it's amazing. It's an amazing adventure that it's going to lead into, We can always learn from others. Laura, I totally agree with that. Hi, Ender. Hi, Audrey. You made it. Tuned in. Yay. I was just talking about your amazing strength, and I was sharing your Facebook page with the viewers right now. So the first part that you missed, Natalie, basically I was retelling the story of Audrey Mabrey, who had lived through a very traumatic situation with her partner. She was in a relationship with this person, and she had sort of tested him in the beginning as to how honest and truthful he was. And she actually called the precinct to find out if he really was an officer, a detective in the precinct. We are live, Ballet Babe. That's such a cool name. So she checked to see if he was being honest, and she actually got a hold of him at the precinct. So she felt comfortable enough to, continue talking to this man that they had met on a dating site and whatnot. So she had sort of, tested him, and he passed the test, and then she just trusted him, and he broke that trust in the most brutal of way by 2009. He had already broken her trust throughout the years when they were together with lies and cheating. But now, like what he had done to her, the way he attacked her, he almost could have killed her. And thank God for her strength that she was able to persevere through that and survive and not let that take her over. Many of us, I think, her name is Audrey Mabrey. Now her new name is Audrey May Prosper. She's married to a wonderful new man who's super sweet to her, she says. So I think that gives us hope, right? There's not all bad out there, but there seems to be a lot of bad out there. And that's what makes it scary to put yourself out there again. And that's what's so admirable about her courage, is that even though she survived something like that, she fearlessly looked love in the eyes and went after it again, So I think that's inspiring. And I think that it's an honor to be able to get permission to share other survivor stories, other tragic events that happened, Sherry might do one more on Chris. Yes, I did say I might do one more on the Chris Watts case, just with the interviews and videos that were recorded, the audio and recordings. So I might do one more on that, but I'm really trying to sort of move on from the Christopher Watts case. I know that there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are sort of stuck focused on it because it does bring in the views. But that's why I'm excited about this new branching into all these survivor stories. I feel like it'll give my channel a little bit of an edge, Nancy, the Audrey story is so bad, but don't you feel so inspired by seeing someone's strength like that? I personally do. I look at it as admirable, She at least survived. Yes, she did. Yeah. And she's married now, and they have a beautiful life together. They're speakers, both of them, and they're going to travel the world telling the story and, sort of being a voice for victims, breaking the silence. The Face Forward nonprofit organization and Break the Silence nonprofit organization she's a part of. And I think that, it's inspiring for other people who have maybe been through an abusive situation or something traumatic that affected them, to hear and see someone like her live through that and have the courage to come through at the other end and still be quite normal and fun loving and kind. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So hi, Ballet Babe from Florida. How's the hot sunny weather? We have cold winter here right now, and I'm just like ah. I'm not a huge winter fan, but I do love my Canada province. So as much as I complain about it, I don't think I'll move. It's affordable to live where I live. So hi, first time on here, Deidre. Well, thank you for joining. Oh, you were in a 15-year abusive marriage. That is so, so sad. I just personally, I too have been through an abusive relationship, and I find it sort of it not only creates for a little bit of I don't want to say anxiety or fear, but caution, if you will, that, you're aware of what is out there as far as the bad. And personally, I'm just not really willing to go out there and find it again because of the bad that's happened. And I'm tired of it, and I'm at the point in my life where I love me enough. I'm happy enough. I have what I need. I pay my own bills. I always have paid my own bills. Nobody's ever paid my bills for me. So for me, it's, I just don't see why I should have to jeopardize anything again to put myself out there for somebody who might just take from me again, hurt me again, and I'll have to pick up the pieces yet again. I'm tired of that. So personally, I protect myself, in other ways, and I'm happy with that. And nobody's going to hurt me. Like, I mean, if something bad happens, then that's what was meant to be, and so be it. Like, I'm really not scared about life. I still go out and do tons of things. I just have no real desire to, open up those doors and have someone living with me and stuff like that. They need to make a commitment to, like, better things. And for me, I feel like helping people is my better thing. And I don't know if that's going to entail a relationship per se. I sound just like you, ballet babe. Oh, that's so cool. You're 34 and I'm 40, just so you all know. So I'm just that much more ahead of some of you in some ways. I do pray for strength like almost every day, but like I get my strength from different things. So I'm not willing to jeopardize that for just having a man. It's just not that worth it to me. Now, if I found an amazing man, well, I would be delighted. But that's really not on my to-do list. My to-do list is mostly for helping other people now, and just taking care of myself. That's exactly how you feel too. I look 25. Aw, well, thanks. No, I'm 40. I'm all natural. I've only ever used body lotions on my face and skin, and I've never had any plastic surgeries and stuff like that or Botox yet. I say that's not to say that I might not try it one day. Who knows? I don't know. For now, I'm fine. But who knows? That's years, years, years down the line. And like I said, I'm more worried about helping other people than any of that. Your mother made an escape plan while he was at the grocery store. That's an awesome. At least you had a support system to help you for sure. Many have plan A, B, C to escape. Yes. And I think it's really important that if you're somebody or somebody who's in that kind of a scary situation, to advise them that the best escape is a quiet one, like where you're not telling anybody anything. Nobody really knows because, who knows who might tell the person who's hurting you, right? So you might as well keep the escape route as quiet as possible as to what that is so that you can ensure that you'll make it, right? You're working on yours, Lady D. And anything you'd like to share with us about that, or you're with me, Sherry? You have no desire to date or anything at all. There's just way too much, yeah, bad that's going on out there, and I have no interest in trying to find it. And then recently when I was talking to Audrey, I was saying, maybe the best place to look for a man these days is in church. And she says, no, actually it's getting bad there too, that people are doing horrible, mean things. They're just not talking about it. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is crazy. So I think it's a good decision personally for me. And I feel like, I'm comfortable and I'm okay with it. So you can't really all the time count on the police. You don't know which ones are good and which ones are bad, right? And let's face it, there's good and bad of everything. I am in a 25-year relationship, but walls up having struggles. Oh, 25 years. Wow. That's a long time. You were in an abusive relationship and got yourself into a worse one the second time. My advice is if you divorce, give yourself 5 to 7 years to get before you're getting into another relationship. That's good advice for sure. Hi, Randy. Hi, Wayne, Tara. Oh boy. So, my big surprise, if anybody's missed it, was the fact that I have permission to share like an unlimited supply of survivor stories of, tragic events that that people survived from, and it empowered them, and they're doing well. So I find that to be an inspiration. And you must know, I have to tell you that the man that did what he did to Audrey, he got life in prison without parole. And, the maximum amount of jail sentence time that could have been given to him for each count was what was received. So he's never going to get out to do any harm to another woman again, you know? And I thought that that was really great. Hi, Brock. Much more positive, Ms. White says. Thank you. And yeah, Lady D, I don't know what area you're in, but I know that there's help groups out there for most any situation that you're in. So, that might be a really good start place, because it's a roof over your head that you can turn to if that's the thing that you're missing right now, or if that's all in his name, and to leave, you'd have to leave your home type thing. You suffer from fibromyalgia. So do I, Kimberly. I think it's different levels for different people, but I've had chronic neck and back pain for so many years. My body is just constantly in pain all the time, 24/7. Like, it doesn't stop. So I know what that feels like, but I've gotten the poker face used to, right? Like, I can hold that. I can hold that face forever, but it just seems like it's tiring. It's exhausting to always be so much in pain. Like, I can't stand it. There's nights I just cry myself to sleep, you guys, because it's so exhausting. I'm all day, like all throughout the day, I'm always, big, huge sighs, like, because it's just constant that I have to regroup myself and gather strength to carry on. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and maybe that's kind of what's brought me to the point of seclusion, in a sense, right? Like, I don't want to put my problems and my pain on someone else and always be like, oh, but if there's someone there to listen that I can complain to, that's what I'm probably going to do. And who wants to be around that for very long, you know? And I'm only 40. Like, I can't imagine what this is going to be like in just 10 years. Never mind. Like, I'm just beside myself with the fact that I've had so many things that have been done, specialist wise. The MRI that I had done had shown bulging discs all throughout my neck and back. And still, there's no doctors calling to say, hey, listen, I think that we can see that you might be in a lot of pain, and we're going to try to help you here. So whatever. Like, I'm just going to have to save up to try to pay for the surgery that's needed and go on with life. But for now, life is full of a bunch of pain all the time. But with that fibromyalgia, with this bulging discs, I mean, it's not getting easier, it's getting harder. And that's what I've noticed, is that I dealt with this for so long. It's just gotten to the point that it's almost unbearable. I do CBD regularly to regulate my pain. I do it in the flower sense. So, you met 4 guys who portrayed themselves as living, caring, kind men, all turned out to be covert, lying narcissists. Regarding the pain, I'm now educating myself on CBD, selling it too. You know what? CBD is an amazing thing that, like, I would never say anything bad about it, because I have nothing but good things, good results, from it. So I honestly recommend, if you're somebody suffering, to try CBD, because it does help. Went to Ballet Babe. I went to a counselor years ago to try to get over my first marriage. She advised me to get up and look in the mirror and say, I am number one. That's amazing. I think self-talk is very important. And I think that we need to be aware of what it is that's going on in our mind when we're angry, when we're irritated, when we're upset. Like, I personally have to catch myself all the time because of, getting a little too irritated, and I right away get upset, and sometimes a little bit mean and harsh, like, cursing and swearing and stuff. But you eat the gummies, Astral? That's really cool. But I think that it's a good thing for us to be aware of what's happening in our psyche, and what we're thinking, even when we're not really thinking, and to pay attention to that, because changing those can really change your outlook on yourself. It does very much help. Medical MJ is an amazing, amazing tool. I have used it for many years. I've had my prescription since 2015. So we're going on 4 years, and it is amazing. I honestly, I don't know what I would do without it because of all the things that I deal with. Yeah, it's okay, Dare to be different. I appreciate your kindness. I think like in throughout this process of YouTubing, I started November 2017 of uploading videos, you guys, and I had never watched YouTube videos before this. I don't really even barely watch any now. I try to support some of the other YouTubers that have made contact with me by watching some of their videos. But as far as like having my own way and stuff like that, like I fumbled my way through this to get here and made some mistakes along the way and whatnot. But I've never copied anybody, and I've never I've never gone to a channel and thought, oh, that's really good, I'm going to totally take that and use that, because like that's just ethically, that's wrong in so many ways. All right. And you really need to understand who I am in my heart to know like the integrity that I'm putting out and stuff like that. And I would never do that to my own person. Like, I am who I am because of the things that I've been through. And, I am who I am because of who I try to be every day. And that's not from seeing someone else doing it. I pride myself on being more of a leader and not necessarily a follower, and neither is bad. It's just that I have heard some comments from people stating that they think I'm copying somebody and someone else from YouTube and stuff like that. But I've never been one to be on this platform. I just started opening myself up to it in November of 2017. I made a channel. I sort of opened an account with YouTube in 2013, but I didn't do anything with it until 2017. So it just stayed dormant, You recently tried edibles, and it honestly helps so much with your pain. It's a body thing. It just takes away the body pains. THC does me in too. I mostly just use that if I'm going to sleep, if I'm having trouble sleeping because I'm crying and thinking about too many things, then I will get out the indica weed and smoke some of that. That's how I medicate, And I was able to get rid of a couple of pain medications just on my medical marijuana, so that not only saved me some side effects and pharmaceuticals, it really helped me financially too. So back to Audrey Mabrey's story, you guys, 80% of her body was burned, and she said that her flesh was literally just melting off of her. I thought it was really, really an intense story to go over, and an amazing strength on her part to persevere through that, and to find love again after that. I asked her what sort of made her decide that, and she said that she had always sort of felt that her love destiny was destined to be epic, and that like it was going to be huge and amazing, and she wasn't willing to give up on that. She sort of states it as more of like Cinderella syndrome, but I think it's admirable, to be honest. She never lost her will to sort of keep going. Turmeric gold paste is brilliant for pain. Thank you for that suggestion, Sue. So I don't know if any of you guys know anybody who has survived something traumatic and crazy, but if you know someone or you are someone that's been through something like that, I would love to hear your story. I'm not copying. Thanks, Loney. I didn't think I was, and it really was just one person that had said that, but I thought it was worth addressing here because haven't I have never really spent a lot of time on YouTube, so how could I be copying anybody? But I might be similar to somebody because we have similar interests or something, but you know, that would be it. I don't know. It's not it isn't it just help isn't it just help me with arthritis? Oh, yes. I think that was like, isn't it? And then just help me with arthritis or something. I wish I lived on the West Coast. Can anyone send me sativa from medical? No, that's illegal. We're not allowed to do that. You'd lose your medical prescription if you got caught. So I suggest being careful. Got to follow the rules and the laws in the world in order to maintain, being that good citizen, I think. Yes, no, that's okay. I think that Audrey Mabrey's story is something that we can sort of take something from. We can see that that gives us hope that no matter how bad something is that happens in your life, you can still survive that and go on to live an amazing life even afterwards. Did you know, you guys, that through the nonprofit organization Face Forward, which is based in Los Angeles, they actually have connections with surgeons for pro bono surgeries for victims surviving from violent and disfiguring crimes and things like that. I thought that that was amazing. Those doctors must have like the biggest heart in the whole wide world. Like, that's an amazing thing. I mellow, do research, but did they not legally it if they did legalize it wherever they are, then whomever was asking about getting edibles sent, I think it was Kimberly, like she could just go online and order them to her home. There are places that you don't need a medical prescription. You can just go on their site and order it right from there to your door. More good people than bad, you pray. Yes. And I also want to state that the live shows are sort of less structured. There's the live show is us sort of, talking back and forth, bouncing things off each other back and forth. It's not structured in the sense of it's a storyline with, a point and going to a next storyline and things like that, where there's pictures included and things for visuals, right? This is our time to sort of connect with each other and bounce things back and forth. So it's amazing that she survived. She said that she felt herself slipping away at one point, but she held on. Like, that's strength, in my opinion, and that's admirable. I had a jaw procedure 8 weeks ago. Topical CBD in the mouth. Yeah, I think there is such a thing. Yes, because they have CBD oils for people who um, oh shoot, you guys, I'm no medical expert pro, but the shaking syndrome thingy, I can't remember exactly what it's called right now because I honestly, it's just like poof gone. But I thought it started with a P. Oh my goodness, brain fart, like it's gone. But the shaking, like there's a few not seizures either. It's not that. Parkinson's. Thank you. So they've actually done studies where people, can't even take a glass of water to take a drink without, because they're constantly shaking, right? And that this CBD oil just literally like calms them within a minute or two and they're able to function and survive. Like, it is a medical miracle, in my opinion. No, I don't know about any podcasts. that's something I've never branched into. I'm not a radio host or a news reporter or anything like that. I really just wanted to start a YouTube channel in order to earn some extra revenue. That was my main goal. And it sort of branched into covering all of these true stories. I was originally giving tips and tricks when I first started. I graduated from my legal course with my diploma in February 2017. And I was just kind of sitting on it for a while working management at a pizza joint in town because I really enjoyed the hustle and bustle of it. But regardless, I just kind of sat on the diploma, not sure what I really even wanted to do with it yet. It was more for my own personal knowledge to take that legal course. So once November rolled around and I was, not really working as much, it was more part-time hours, I decided to start thinking of different ways to build my revenue stream. And YouTube was one of those ways I could try to do that. And that's what got me into doing that. By sort of the new year of this year, I was sort of covering true crime stories. I was branching into natural disasters and, missing people and survivors and just basically surrounding anything and everything around a true story. And that was my goal, was to try to bring in some extra revenue. So it's been a fun adventure. I really do enjoy putting forward stories for you guys and interacting together. I think that it's a positive thing, especially for the missing people and the survivors in this world who've been through something crazy. I think it's an amazing thing to carry on their story, keep their name alive type of thing. I think that's a good thing. You love my older videos too? Oh, thanks, Natalie. I was trying to choose tips and tricks that people could really use in their life that, we could all value, and then it sort of stumbled into the true stories and whatnot. And it's been rolling with that ever since. So Dirty John isn't show I need to see. Okay. Where do I find the podcast, though? I did great on the Watts case. Do I think he killed before? No, I don't think that Chris Watts killed before. I think that he lied to his wife probably the entire time he was married. I think that he didn't know how to handle a woman being so strong and standing up to him, just like his mom was, right? I mean, so he chose someone similar in characteristics to his mother, but he wasn't able to stand up to his mother, just like he wasn't really able to stand up to Shanann sometimes. And I feel like, even though they may have had yelling matches and stuff like that, I feel like Shanann's strength probably overpowered him every time, and he just grew sick of it. And he did the disgrace of taking all of their lives. It's very, very tragic in my opinion. I'm anxious for the Turpin trial to get started. And I understand that people are frustrated with the fact that it doesn't start until September 2019, but we have to keep reminding ourselves that all of those journals for like 25 plus years need to thoroughly be read through and documented in order to be referenced throughout the trial. And they need to prepare everything, all of their speeches, and just be very ready to start this. So, the readiness conferences that happened before setting the trial date was sort of to understand if they had enough information to be putting forward and having this trial. And that David and Louise were continuing to state that they were not guilty is also a huge factor. If they would have pled guilty, just like Chris Watts did, there would not be a trial for the Turpins. But the Turpins are maintaining that they didn't do anything wrong, and they feel that their parenting style was their way and it wasn't wrong, which, I mean, many of us disagree, me included. And I think that she knew what she was doing was wrong, or she wouldn't have gone to such great lengths to hide what she was doing by keeping her children awake all night, sleeping all day, out of public schools, never playing outside, nobody had an inkling practically that there was a whole huge family in that house in Paris, California. So pretty shocking. I feel that she knew what she was doing was wrong, and the deer in the headlights look that she had on her face when the police were at her front door because her 17-year-old daughter, Jordan, had escaped from the window to call for some help. That's a load of crap. I think she was just shocked that she got caught and shocked that there was authority standing at the door now to come into her house because there was all kinds of alleged accusations of abuse. So, hey, Francine, how are ya? Francine. I feel like I'm probably missing a whole bunch of comments. How do I highlight someone's name? Good question. I don't know. Me and my famous saying is me and technology don't get along on the best of days. So whatever. It is what it is. But I'm really not sure. The only thing that I see highlighted is my own name. So I don't know. I'm sorry. My lipstick's out of whack there. Anyways, live shows are for you to see the real me, right? I think somebody had stated that earlier. This is why we come to your lives. You could see all my hand gestures. Do I think the video about her sister-in-law talking about some freaky sex stuff that was into, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Turpins? Because they did do some swinging, from what I hear. In their marriage, they shared each other with other people, kind of thing. But Sherry, I may have missed this. How do you plan on sharing other people's stories? I got permission from someone who is connected to Survivor Stories to share more and more Survivor Stories. I basically have permission to an unlimited supply of Survivor Stories. And I got that permission directly from someone who can give that, And so I was excited because that means that there's so many more stories to come of tragic things that have happened, but have led people that they've survived from it. And it's led them into amazing places. I think that that's empowering and amazing. I'm so excited to be honored to be the one that can show you guys these tragic events and these stories and these survivors. I think that it's amazing. So I'm sorry if you missed that, but ta-da! There you go. There's the surprise. I am really honored, though. I think that it's an amazing thing to be a part of, Make sure my shirt is all right. I see it was not. Look, in one camera, it's a little bit lower. I've got one viewer sitting there. Is probably just staring at the camera like, her shirt's about to fall down. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining. So I'm excited to bring you guys that announcement that I have been granted permission to an unlimited amount of Survivor Stories to share with you guys. So stay tuned for so many more to come. I'm so excited to be the one to bring you these stories. My video froze. Sorry. I was stating, that I have permission from someone who is able to give me this permission to share these stories. So I'm excited to bring you guys amazing new tragic stories of survivors, victims that survived in a crazy event and they live to tell about it. I think that those are inspiring stories, and I'm happy to be the one to be able to present them to you. You want to do the same, sharing your own story? Yes, we could do that, Kimberly. We could do sort of a FaceTime video interview if you'd like. Audrey did offer me if I wanted to have her be live to come on to my channel with me, and I think never post never post yours first, your last name on here. I don't have a problem with posting my information. I don't have anything to hide, and I'm really not scared or worried. I will be sharing them on YouTube, yes, and then I share my stories across about 10 different platforms. Sherry, I'm live on 2 separate devices right now. I have about 6 devices, but I don't want to stream everyone at the same time because it's too much to keep up with the comments on them all, right? And then someone's going to feel ignored, and I don't want anybody to feel ignored or like I'm not listening or something. So all right. So Kimberly, if you'd like, we can actually do the interview together, and we could talk over the phone. We could do a FaceTime, and basically I would just write down your story as you tell it, and recap that for my viewers and put it forward with pictures and sort of the event as it sort of unfolded in little bits, right? Maybe the beginning of before when everything was sort of normal, and then what had happened, and the recovery at the end. I think that's the what is so awful about Ballet Babe. Oh no. But Ballet Babe, I actually don't hide my identity. I don't change my name personally. I think it's, that's part of my honest integrity or whatever is to put myself forward. If somebody wants to send me mail, they can. If you want to contact me through email, they can. If you want to call me, they can. Things like that. Red flags are important to recognize. Ms. White, I totally agree with you. And I think that far too many of us ignore those red flags. We ignore those gut instincts or that little inner voice that's saying something might be off here, something might be odd. Um, I think yes, they have my address. Like, I don't care. I don't understand what your point is. Whatever. Yes, exactly, Deidre. You're right. And I think that it's consistent for people being able to find me across all platforms. So you've requested, assuming many like me follow Chris's mistress's interviews. Yes, no, I am going to be doing one last video on the Christopher Watts case based off of the audio and recorded interviews that have been released. I did want to get on sharing the surprise with you guys about what I have permission to share now with everybody. And I really wanted to be the one to tell you that on a live, So you hear it from the mouth of the babe in a sense. Yeah, I don't know. For me personally, I can send anything back, right? And I can if I can't send it back to the sender, I can send it to the post. I don't actually have to accept anything, right? So hi James, hi Mario, hi Tim. Thank you. What is doxed? And hey critters, sorry I forgot to say hi to you. Hi Happy Fox. Worried about being doxed. What's doxed? Is that blocked maybe? I don't know. Please do. I know when you want to do an interview because I have so much to share to people. I want to write a book and help people I think more people watch videos instead of read. What do you think? You know what? I think there's a well balance of both out there, and a book is definitely not a bad idea. I too personally have been in the process of writing a book myself. But then it does take, either someone catching on to that and wanting to publish it or finances to publish it. So it's a work in progress for me, but I believe that my story should be shared as well. And it involves the government, child and family services, my parents, how I was raised, my upbringing, basically my life, and then the traumatic things that happened to me while I, didn't live at home, and the traumatic things that happened to me when I did live at home, and how I survived that. Although it has damaged me, you can clearly tell with the fact that I am so secluded in not trusting very many people. In my opinion, most people have an ulterior agenda, and it usually isn't to help someone else. It's usually to hurt them in some way or make sure that they don't succeed in some way. And I think that you really need to recognize body language, facial expressions, and pay close attention, folks, because people out there are so damn two-faced. They'll sit right in front of you acting like they're your freaking friend. Meanwhile, they could care less and they wish you were dead. They really don't like you at all. It's sad. It's really sad. Instead of empowering each other and bringing each other up and helping each other, they'd rather ruin someone just to not watch them do better. Like, I think it's disgusting. And there's so much of that. It's horrible. And it's very obvious. If you watch body language and facial expressions, it is boldly obvious. But you have to be willing to really see it for what it is and not make second guesses about it. Not be like, oh, well, that was just this or that was just that. It is what it is, you guys. And if you see something off, it's probably off. And don't second guess it. Like, take it for what it is, even as harsh as that is. It's somebody that you trusted or you thought was always going to be on your side or for you, suddenly, has no desire in even seeing your face, So, and there's a lot of them out there. It's sad. It's really sad. I pride myself on being somebody who likes to help people, and I have a good heart. And I do watch body language, and I do watch facial expressions, and I do see and I listen to it. And then I just never go back. I never go back to that person. Like, see you later. Enjoy watching me now. Goodbye. Like, I have no interest in being brought down. You know what I mean? Like, I can do that my damn self. I can bring myself down myself. I don't need anybody else's help to do that. I already feel bad enough for the wrong choices that I've made and the shitty things I've survived and whatever, that I don't need someone else coming around and thinking negatively about me and projecting that onto me at all. You know what I mean? I'd rather not have any friends close to me if that's how they're going to be. And I've had to let go of many people in my life because of their attitude. You can blatantly see when someone does not wish you well, when someone does not wish you, this lovely smile they're putting forward for you, and they're not really being sincere. You can tell. So do you. Yeah. You're the same way, Miss White. I think it's almost the only way to be these days. Like, it's only going to become harder and harder because the good ones are going to seclude. We do see it for what it is. And it's not it's not helpful. And who wants to be hurt? Like, seriously, you know? Sorry. Chap lip a little bit. You survived what could have killed you for a reason. Yes, exactly. So, to put yourself out there for the exact same thing, yeah, you might be setting yourself up in a sense, right? You're best to just be cautious and protect yourself. That's kind of how I see it anyways. You're pretty new to my channel, but you are enjoying it. That's awesome, Ballet Babe. I love your name, by the way. I used to do ballet when I was younger, when I was a little girl. I've done all kinds of extracurriculars. I was really good. Hi, Holly. You don't have to retract your message, sweetie. Feel free to be yourself here. Oh, for all of you that goes, you don't have to retract your messages, you know. Personally, I'd rather be safe than hurt, right? So if staying safe requires for me to have less of a social life, I'm okay with that, you know? Because the more that you see how people are fake and people aren't honest or real, the less you really want to be around that, right? I mean, I've lost a lot of faith in humanity, period, because of hurt and deceit and lies and theft and, you know, just plain competition. Like, I don't know. I have no desire in my life to be like that towards anybody. And I really never look, you know, at what the neighbor has, wishing I had it, or, you know, wanting to take it. I'm just, I don't know. I'm happy and focused on what I'm trying to do. And I feel like what I'm trying to do is a good thing. And it, you know, it deserves to be shared. You know, victim survivor stories totally need to be shared. Crime stories totally need to be shared. Natural disaster stories need to be shared. So, you know, missing people stories, of course, need to be shared. It's just, it's an endless story sort of situation, right? Like I have an endless abyss of stories to sort of present to you guys with this. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited that I get to talk to these survivors and that I get to share their stories. It's an honor. So yeah, some of the extracurriculars I did was ballet, tap dancing, rhythmic gymnastics, volleyball, badminton, basketball. Um, I sucked at track. I was never a really great runner, but I was really good at some sports. So, and now I just like staying active, you know, like I'm not really a part of too many groups because of the pain that I'm constantly in. But some of the things that I really, really want to do in the future after I get surgery is to dance. I want to take a dance class. I would love to stay active with dance because it's just so fun. And you don't really even feel like you're working out, but you're really working out your whole body. And then the other thing I really want to get into is swimming. But I kind of need a vehicle in order to get back and forth to the pool and stuff. So I'm kind of like a one step at a time type person. And I do what I can when I can. So for now, I take care of myself with like kind of like physiotherapy in a sense. And I do a lot of stretching and I have an elliptical at home that I stay active with. Yes, Zumba. I have heard so much about it. It's dancing is something I really always enjoyed, and I feel like it's a wicked workout for your whole body. So after I get this surgery is when I would like to use that as my healing tool and get into, you know, just staying active, just getting out there and meeting new people and being busy with you know, that kind of a life. Like it doesn't have to be for personal relationships, like sexual relationships. It could be for friend relationships. It could be for, you know, companionship and just chatting with someone and stuff like that, right? If you're in a class together with each other, it's kind of, it's fun, right? You're out doing something. Bowling is another thing that I really enjoy doing, and it's pretty good workout, but I can't really do it because of how much pain my back is in and the bending over of holding the ball and stuff. I can't do it. So you want to try Zumba too? Yeah, it seems like a really cool, um, you know, thing. Like honestly, and somebody invented that, right? That's kind of cool. I like it. Your daughter teaches hot yoga and hot Pilates. Well, that's pretty cool. Is that like in a steam room or something? Or you need to get your lazy ass to the gym? I just use what I have at home, you know? Like whether that's a little bit of light weights that I have, like 3 pound, 5 pounds, like nothing, but it's enough to start your toning. So if you're doing um, repetitive repeats to it, and a lot of them, you will get that tone. Call an acupuncture. Yeah. Please do a video on my amazing body transformation. I do have an older video, Natalie, showing my my weight loss. Right, I had my highest weight at one point was 318 pounds, and that was in 2003. And then by 2008, I had started to take it off and keep it off. And then I've just maintained that ever since. Maintained being healthy and just sort of eating right. I still eat junk, don't get me wrong. Like I still have salt and vinegar popcorn and chips and ice cream, but you have things in moderation, right? I mean, if you have salt and vinegar popcorn 4 times a week, you better believe it that you're going to gain weight, right? If you have salt and vinegar popcorn once a week and the other popcorn may be plain, well, like that's better, that's healthier. So you just have to be conscious of what you're putting into your system and how often you're putting that in. So that's an amazing weight loss, Laura. Congratulations. Your back pain, not good. I'm trying to make a cream for pain from herbs. That's a really good idea. Too crazy, Alex. Good for you. That's amazing. Then maybe you can go to the Shark Tank or Dragon's Den and get an investor and make your product boom in sales, right? That's something I had always admired and really wanted to aspire to do. I've sort of always had that entrepreneur attitude to me, and I've tried various businesses throughout my life. My first business was a home daycare. I only did it for about a year or two because it was really, really hard on me. I was alone doing it with my own children at home, and I couldn't really sustain doing it by myself. My mother had done that in her home when I was growing up for like 16 years. And I thought maybe I could do it too. But she also had me helping her. She had my brothers helping her. She had my dad helping her. So I didn't have anybody, and it was really difficult. So I wasn't really for me, and I stopped doing that. My next venture business route was with Party Light, and I was really successful with that. I enjoyed it. But then once I got pregnant, carrying the big tote with all the heavy candles in it became too much. So I eventually let that go. I then created a business called Most Any Special Services. And that was in Winnipeg. I had registered the business. I wanted to be that service to anybody of whatever you needed. So if you needed some debris removed, if you needed a ride to the grocery store, you needed anything done, you could call us to do that. And we would just, charge you accordingly based off of how much time it took or your bill or something like that. So that we printed about 10,000 flyers and went around some of the higher ritzy end areas and put them in mailboxes and stuff like that. And it only ever got a handful of phone calls. So that ended up not being too much of a success for me. And I have done, the YouTube now. So branching into my own channel and sort of presenting myself and my heart and soul and mind, and in hopes that I'm accepted, I guess you could say, You didn't lose 80 pounds without cheat days. That's funny. You could make a dance exercise video and we could all suffer together. Ballet Babe, that's a wicked suggestion. I'll take you up on that. I would love to. I would try it anyways if it didn't kill me. Congrats. What did I miss? Congratulations, Laura. Laura, what did I miss? Oh, yes. Sorry, your weight loss. Yeah, no, that is an amazing accomplishment. I feel like I lost a whole other person, like I was like a whole extra person beside me here. But whatever. I'm happier and healthier now, and I really don't think that size makes the beauty. I think the beauty comes from inside. It comes from your heart and your mind and your soul. So, you could be outside gorgeous and inside dead ugly, and, you know, it still looks pretty, but it's really not, right? You want to know what kind of shampoo I use. Would you believe that I wash my hair maybe once a week? I actually wash my hair once a week. I use dry shampoos, and I always keep it blonde so it matches my grays. But dry shampoo is my friend. Too much washing the hair just, I think, dulls it. And my curls stay nicer when when I when I don't wash it so often. If it's too soft, then it just falls. So maybe that's the problem if you have curls in your hair and you're trying to get it to be curlier. Try not washing it. But if you have dark hair, you might have to really, really go for that the dry shampoo stuff. You know what I mean? With blonde hair, you can use baby powder. You can use all kinds of different things to sort of get rid of the greasy type look. You know what I mean? Or you can use the dry shampoo to make it smell really pretty again. But it's just different, right? Yeah, I like my curls. I didn't used to have this actually. It used to be poker straight. When I was a little girl, I shaved the underneath of my head, so all underneath there, and yeah, it was really stupid, right? But then it grew in super curly, and it's now after all these years mixing, and so the top layer is a little bit straighter than the bottom, but it is slowly all mixing together. I've noticed over the years. So I make my hair smell pretty with baby powder and dry shampoo, and those are my tricks. The more I play with it, the more it's not looking so great right now. But whatever. We're almost finished, I think, for today. You have long hair too? Also wash it once a week? Yeah. I think that's normal for people who know about like coloring their hair, right? If you wash your hair too often after you've colored it, it's just going to wash it out anyways. You know what I mean? You want to start your own channel and help people also work with CTFO to sell and share CBD oil. I first want to see how it works for you. By the way, it's free to join. Aw, that's so cool. Maybe I will join. It's nice to come together, I think. Thank you, Ernest. Holly, you came over to the Facebook Live, did you? I started streaming them both because I realized it gives Facebook an opportunity. The people who follow me, I think there's about 4,800 people or so on there. It gives them an opportunity to jump on Facebook if they are not on YouTube. So I started to stream both of them in hopes to build the view count. Because, I mean, well, let's face it, we're all trying to pay bills and eat over here, right? So me included. The brand of dry shampoo, shoot, let me go get it. I'll tell you in a second. I'm not sure. Okay. This one is Herbal Essence, but I have used other ones too. And this one smells like crimson, orange, and mint. Super yummy. It is really pretty. But I've used L'Oreal. I've used, I don't know. I've used a bunch, pretty much, pardon me, pretty much every company that makes a shampoo has started making dry shampoos. So you can almost find them in almost every, kind right now. It is yummy. It's kind of like a crisp, clean scent. Like I really, really liked it. And very much good luck, Kimberly, with your channel. I think that you could be successful sharing your story with people. We can start by sharing it here for the viewers that I have. And if that helps to build you, great, I think that coming together is a good thing. I'm getting hearts and wows on Facebook. Hi. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. This is me. I love the herbal essence commercials. I love the Dove commercials too. They're so. Did you guys see the new Calvin Klein perfume commercial? It's so nice. It literally made me email the company and ask them if I could work with them, possibly sponsor or, advertise their products for them for, very reasonable price kind of thing. Pantene is a really good one too. You're right about that, Happy Fox. Hi, Samantha. Fab video. Looking forward to much more. I can't wait to bring you guys some more of the survivor stories. I think it's going to be really awesome. Agree, stick together. There's enough for everyone unless you're greedy. I totally agree with you, Miss White or Ms. White. I totally agree with you. I think there's no reason to be even like shady, two-faced. Like there's no reason to be greedy. There is a lot of stories out there to share. So I'm just happy that I got permission from somebody that has connections to like 100,000 survivor stories that they're gonna allow me to share. That's privy to my channel. That's amazing. I'm so honored. I really am. I can't wait. Your allergist wants my hair washed. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if you have allergies, then that makes sense. You have to go with what works for you. You're glad you found my channel. I'm so glad you could make it, and I'm glad you enjoy spending time with me. If you guys enjoy the video, a thumbs up would be a really great support. If you haven't yet clicked the like button, that would be fantastic. I appreciate it. Please link when we can connect to share my stories on your channel. Can you do me a favor, Kimberly, and send me like a private message? Do you know how to do that through YouTube or no? Because if not, I'll just put my email address up for you and you can send me an email. That might work better for you. I'll just put my email up there for you, and then you can send me a message, and then we can exchange phone numbers from there, kind of thing. You thought about starting your own channel too, but not as smart as you. Aw. Well, thanks. But I think that we all have smarts in different ways. And I have some life experience smarts, and I have that legal course under my belt. And I feel like, it's going to help me, and it's going to bring me the ability to be the best version of me that I could be for you guys. You know what I mean? I pride myself on having integrity and honesty, and I see no reason to kind of bluff or fib or go through life kind of faking it in a sense, and I really want to be the best version of myself for you guys. So I very much appreciate all of your support. I really do. If you guys are new to my channel, I do have a merchandise store. If you're interested in supporting, you can buy products that have my logo on there. The logo, it's True Stories with me, Sherry Weens, with Ms. Sherry Weens. I'll give you guys the link there if you're interested in checking that out. There's only about 5 products on there: a coffee mug, a tote bag, a sweater, a t-shirt. I'm missing one thing. I can't remember what it is, but if you're interested in helping to support me, I truly appreciate that. That is totally your call. The quality of video is better on Facebook than on YouTube. Oh no, that's not very nice. Weird, because my device that I'm using for Facebook is a lot older device than the YouTube one. So that's really odd. That's weird. That's really weird. But you know what, you guys, lately with technology, I feel like someone's trying to mess with me for some reason or something. And they keep, making it so that things won't upload and things won't work, and things just keep shutting down on me. So I don't know what that's all about, and it might just be my own stupidity reading too much into it or whatever, but it is really, really weird that, I go to upload something and all of a sudden all of my videos that I just did and about to edit and piece it together are suddenly in the cloud. Meanwhile, I never put them in the frigging cloud. Like, it just it seems like somebody's inside my devices messing with me, and I'm just like frustrated to no end sometimes. I need me a tech whiz. I need me somebody who knows all about this kind of stuff that I can, put a quick phone call into and be like, hey, this is going on. What do I do? Or, whatever. But for now, I don't have that. Yes, it sure can be. Your nephew is autistic, and I would love to learn more tips and tricks. It's tough to deal with, and we need more info out there. Well, that's interesting. I've never known anybody autistic or had any interaction with anybody autistic, but thank you for the compliment. So learning the device is interesting. Yeah, yeah, the devices are interesting to learn because each one is different, right? So each one is a whole nother ball game to figure out. So, yes, if you're just tuning in, my channel is all about sharing true stories, whether that's a natural disaster or a crime or a missing person or a survivor. It's a true story that I bring you. So if you like those kind of things, you can tune in regularly if you want. No, I don't have one of those Alexi things. No. Your nephew is autistic too, B. Harmony's saying. He's so smart, but speaking was hard until we got a space therapist. You mean a speech therapist, I think. Darn autocorrect thing, right? I hate it when it does that to me. I get really mad and it starts auto-correcting me on things that I'm not trying to say. It makes me more mad. Excuse me. All right. Good to know. I will not invite the Alexa. That's too funny. Thanks for joining, folks. So I hope that you guys are as excited as I am about the up and coming true stories that I have for you, the unlimited supply of survivor stories. I think that it's going to be an amazing chapter to this channel and kind of only available here. So I'm excited and honored to be the one to bring you guys these true stories from these victims surviving. And I appreciate your support and watching too. I think we're gonna round this up, wrap this up, and we'll be on to another story soon. There won't be too much news to come for the Turpin case, as we know the trial will start next year. So stay tuned for that. I do plan on covering that story, and I will definitely be bringing you more of the victim survival stories to come. Scottsdale, there is a doctor that works wonders for autism. And I think that if there's someone out there who has children with autism, that someone should start a channel on that. It might help the other people who are dealing with that in their own lives as well. Talk to him always. Yes. You're giving the relationship sort of advice there. I agree. Great to see you all. I very much appreciate you guys taking the time out of your life to come spend some time with me. If you haven't subscribed, you can click the red button. If you're enjoying spending time with me and my channel, please feel free. And And as I said, it'll be an honor to bring you guys more survival stories to come. And I hope that you continue watching. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and I will see you soon with another true story. I hope that you all take care, and be sure to send me a private message and email if you have anything that you'd like to say to me directly. Feel free to send me that message. Feel free to send me that card or whatever, what have you. And I appreciate all of your support. So you guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you again soon for another true story. Bye for now.